So very good evening to everyone. So I would like to thank each and everyone who are present here for the presentation. Just give me 1 second. I'll just share my slide. The topic which I'm going to speak about is stress management. So a little repetition of words would be there. Or that's what I was smiling during the presentation as Atindra was doing. So before I could start with my presentation, I would like to share a real-time story with you. So this was in 2007, during the recession period, when a lot of people were losing their job, especially those people who were in a very high position and with a good package. So this is a story about. Yeah, so this is a story about a very happy family. A father, mother, and two teenage daughters were there. And unfortunately, this man lost his job. He tried, no, for 2 to 3 months, he tried applying many organizations, but he did not get any job since it was a recession time. Slowly, what happened is that this person started developing all negative feelings. He lost hope. He started firmly believing that he will never again get a job. So slowly, he started, taking a lot of stress. The reason is he had a lot of EMI to pay, as well as both his daughters were studying in in international school. So you all are aware how high the fees is. So slowly there was a change in the behavior of the person. He was not able to eat, he was not able to sleep, and every small thing irritated him. So he started showing frustration and irritation, and the children also moved away. But this family could not really understand, or they were not aware of what is happening with him. So as the days went, he became very withdrawn. He confined himself to the room. He never used to talk to anyone. He never used to go out. And most of the time, he started sitting in the dark room and overthinking and worrying too much. One final day, all had gone home. The wife is a teacher, so she was busy with the work. And the younger daughter, in the evening after school, she came back home. She went to the neighbors, she collected the keys, she opened the door, and she entered in the bedroom to see her father hanging himself. You just imagine what situation the child would have been. She started screaming and crying. The neighbors came for help, and then he was rushed to the hospital but declared dead. This happened because of the lack of awareness. Slowly, what happened is that he started getting into depression. That is why all these symptoms, withdrawn, overthinking, all this was there. This child was referred to me for counseling, and it took 2.5 months of intense counseling, weekly 3 days, to help her to come out of the trauma. So now you must have understood, if stress is not addressed at the right time, what could be the consequences. That is why it is very, very important for us to take, if we see someone, observe someone having these symptoms, or we ourselves have these symptoms, we need to do something to overcome the stress and cope up with the stress level. So by the end of this session, you will be able to learn what are those causes, or how stress has a negative impact on different aspects, as well as you'll be learning very few techniques of how to manage your stress due to time constraint. So first, what you have to understand is what is stress and what is a stressor, because people get confused with these terms. So stress is how our body and mind reacts or responds to a stressful event is known as the stress, and this differs from person to person. Maybe in a particular situation, you can take this COVID situation itself. Some people took it very stressful. There are people who ended their life also, but some people took it lightly. So how we respond emotionally and physically to a stressful situation is stress. And what is a stressor? Stressor is any stressful event which leads to stress. For example, it could be separation, divorce, loss of job, financial crisis, loss in the business. All these which lead to stress are known as the stressors. Now we'll see what are the different types of stresses. Now, can any one of you tell me how many types of stress is there, or you're aware of? Anyone? No idea?
Everyone
Indra?
would know of few stress.
What was that?
Everyone would be aware of one stress, no? That is husband or wife stress.
Husband and wife stress. Okay. So I will not go into depth because I'll just touch upon it. There are four different types of stress which you have to know. One is known as the eustress, which is considered to be a very good stress because it will motivate you and it will enhance your productivity. I'll give you a small example. Suddenly, when you're working in the organization, your boss walks in and he comes and tells you you are promoted to a higher level and you have to take up the responsibility after 2 days. You do feel a little stressed. My God, how am I going to cope up? Will I be able to do it? That is known as eustress. Next is the distress. Distress happens like due to day-to-day hassles, overwork, right? Maybe misunderstanding between the couples or problem with the children. That is known as distress, which also has a very negative impact on your body as well as your mind. The third one is known as the hypostress. Hypostress is a very low level of stress. If you're working in the organization and you don't have any projects to work on, so every day you go, just sit in the organization and come back. Very low level of stress, which is also not a good stress. This is known as the hypostress. The last stress is known as the hyperstress, which is a very high level of stress. It's exactly the example which I've given. If it is not managed, it will have a very negative impact on your body, mind, your productivity, as well as person might get into depression or anxiety disorder if it is not managed. So, why is it important to manage your stress? Can you, any one of you, tell me why is it important that we have to manage? For the example which I have mentioned, you would have clearly understood. Apart from that, anything to share? Why is it important to manage your stress?
To be healthy, to live healthy.
Be happy and make others happy.
Be happy and make others happy. Very good. Anything else?
Yeah, if you do not manage stress, it will start affecting our body, our system,
And to
mentally and
avoid
physically.
disease caused by stress.
Very good. Very good. You're the
I
nurse who
think
shines
of
on me.
stress, if you're not managing stress, it will have impact on your body, your health, and also it impact your family.
Very good. So I think you all are aware of that. So let me just go quickly. Yes, it has a very negative impact on our body. Like most of the most of the physical disease also associated with stress, fatigue, tiredness, digestive problems, skin disorders. So it has a very negative impact on your body. And next is it has a very negative impact on your mind. You will not be able to focus. You will not be able to concentrate. You will not be able to think and take the right decision, right? It affects your cognitive functions also, like reasoning and decision making and all that. Third, it has a very negative impact on your behavior. You must have observed that when you are in a stressful situation, right, you'll not be able to, no, that time is the time when you get irritated and show anger on someone. Maybe most probably it will be on the children or the spouse, right, when you're in a stressful situation. So it has a very negative impact on your behavior. You end up telling something or doing something for which you have to regret later. Next, it has an impact on your productivity. See, when you're stressed out, it affects your body and your mind. Then you will not have the energy. You'll have body pain and all that, and you will not be able to give 100% for your work. And that maybe absenteeism also would be there, and that would directly impact on your productivity. And the last thing is that put together, when you show your frustration, anger, irritation, it will definitely have a negative impact on your relationship. So now you understood stress does not only have a negative impact on your body, but on different aspects, or you can say different aspects of life. Hence, it is very important to manage stress effectively. As per the research, if you see, 70% of the contributing factor for the major physical illness as well as for mental illness is stress. Like stress might lead to cardiovascular disease, high BP, stroke, even diabetes, migraine headache, skin disorders, digestive problems. And I can give you my own example. I think I've already shared this earlier. Like I was diagnosed with cancer in 2018, and there is no family history. The genetic was not the contributing factor. So I asked the doctor, how come I got it? Why did I get it? So she said, that is ovarian cancer is clearly related to stress. So certain forms of cancer are also related to stress. So this is the reason why we need to manage our stress effectively. So now we'll move on to few techniques of stress management. So there are many techniques, but I have selected very few techniques which I like and which I try applying. So what exactly is stress management techniques is those techniques which we apply to control or to manage the symptoms of stress. First, I would talk about positive thinking. right? Thinking positive, no matter how difficult the situation is, how challenging it is, we should always see the positive in every situation. That is very, very important, because whatever we think, our thoughts, right, that will have a direct impact on our feelings, and that in turn will have an impact on your behavior. For example, if you think positive, you experience positive feelings like happiness and excitement, and then you will be full of energy, you'll give 100%, you'll be cheerful, and people will love you and be attracted towards you. But if you keep on thinking negative, just reflect and see in your life, you will experience negative emotion like sadness, irritation, jealousy, anger, and that will have a direct impact on your behavior. As I already mentioned, you will hurt someone's feeling, or you'll hit someone, or do something for which you'll have to regret in future. So I just want to give a small situation to y'all, and I want two of y'all to tell me, one of you in this situation, how can you think in a positive way, and the other one, how you can think in a negative way. So the situation is like this, like you can take a couple, both of you are working, right? And you all have gone to your office to work. Suddenly one of you recall that you have to convey something very important to your spouse. So you call a couple of times, but your spouse does not respond. After which you start messaging a couple of times. Again and again you message, but there is no revert back from your spouse. So in this situation, one can think positive as well as negative. So can any one of you first tell me, what are the negative thoughts which will come to your mind? You can put yourself in the situation.
Oh my God, what is happening? Is everything okay with my wife?
Very good. Okay. Positive?
Yeah, she should be conducting a class. She's a teacher, so she'd be in the classroom.
Okay, fine. So let me sum up. If you think negative, you can think something, we must get scared, or something must have happened. Maybe she felt something, or she must have met with an accident, right? Something you started getting scared. Or the worst thing which you can think is, maybe she is with someone, or he is with someone, or betraying us or something like that. That is why they're not responding or just avoiding my calls, right? There is an example also like this, it happens. So you go to that extreme. So what will happen? You will not be able to focus. You'll not be able to concentrate on your work. You'll get so irritated and tensed. And then you will get into trouble in the office, or you might show anger on someone. Not only that, you will come back home in the evening, leave all the frustration on the spouse, and that will end up with a quarrel or conflict, and will spoil your relationship with the spouse. You have taken a lot of stress, right? But if you are a person who always thinks in a positive way, you must have thought maybe her mobile is switched, or his or her mobile is switched off, or it is out of charge, or maybe she's busy with the meeting, or left the mobile in the car, something. Okay, when they see the message, they will revert back to me. So this will avoid a lot of conflict as well as stress. Okay. Another simple activity I just want you all to do, just it'll take very little time. So I just want all of you all to sit very comfortably, close your eyes. Just take a deep breath inside. Focus on your breath. Breathe out slowly. Keep your eyes closed. I just want each and every one to think of one situation that is stressing you, something which you're worrying about. Right? It could be children's education, finance, health, or any problem with your siblings, anything. Any one thing which is stressing you, I just want you to think of that. Now, just think, whatever is stressing you, is it going to matter after another 5 years? If you're done, you can open your eyes. Now, how many of you all feel that, yes, it will matter after 5 years? Whatever you see, some of you must have not been stressing about anything. That's a very good sign that you have no stress in life at all, right? But those who feel that, yes, it's going to matter after 5 years, anyone is there? No one. That's good. So if you feel that it is going to matter after 5 years, you have to do something about it. You can talk to someone, take someone's help, try to find a solution and solve the problem, because there's no point worrying and stressing about it. But if you feel, no, it is not going to matter after 5 years, then you can just forget about it, leave it to God, and just move on in life. Right? So thinking positive is the first thing. The second one thing is you have to learn to have a positive attitude towards yourself as well as others if you want to be stress-free and peaceful. What you have to understand is no one is perfect. Each one of us have some positive qualities and some negative qualities. But our mind is such that we always focus on the negative. Maybe it's your spouse, your children. They have 10 good qualities, but you never focus and you never appreciate. One small mistake they do or one small wrong, the negative qualities, they 100% focuses on that. Right? So you have to learn to have a positive attitude about yourself as well as others. So if you start looking at the positive in others, you will be very calm and relaxed. But if you always have the habit of pointing out and looking at the negative and focusing, you will never be peaceful and you will always be stressed out. The third one is my favorite, to reduce stress, human touch. It has very, very powerful in helping you to relieve your stress. This I learned from my daughter when she was studying in the 8th grade. Anytime she's stressed out in school, she said her teacher said she'll come, as soon as she comes, she'll say, Mama, turn this side, give me a hug. So she used to ask me for hugs. And I also got into that habit. Anytime I'm stressed, I go ask both my daughters, can you just give me a hug? I feel so stressed out. When human touch, whether it is kiss or cuddling or no touching, holding the hand, what happens? The happy hormone dopamine is secreted from the brain and it gives immediate relief from stress and anxiety. The next, I think we all know, we always keep talking about that when in the wisdom sessions about practicing humor, that is laughing and smiling as much as possible, right? This also when you're however stressful you are having anxiety, try to laugh and smile as much. Force yourself to laugh. You can read some jokes or watch some funny movies, talk to your friends who talk, in a funny way and start laughing and smiling as much as possible. So I think 3 years back, I read an article in some foreign countries where the job is very stressful. IT companies, they have something as a laughing club where all the people are assembled together and they just laugh out loud without any reason also, but they just laugh out just to relieve stress. So this is one of the best techniques. All this will not cost anything and it's very simple to do. And next one is you have to learn to be very assertive in your communication. This is very, very important. Whether you're communicating with your friends, your own children, your spouse, or your boss, being very assertive can help you to escape stress and anxiety to a large extent. Being assertive means, what I mean is you need to have the guts to express your views very openly. Right? You need to ask for what you want and need, because unless you ask, no one gives you, and you'll be stressing keeping it without asking. And the third point is that you have to learn to say no. It is very, very important for you to say no. When you're asked to do something, when you're not comfortable, you have to have the guts to say no, but in a polite manner. See, as people, we behave in 3 different manners. One is the passive. We are passive or aggressive or assertive. So assertive is the best form of the behavior. So I'll give you a small example for you to understand. Again, I'll give you, because most of you would be working, I'll give you a corporate example. You're working in an organization and there is a project which has to be completed. There is a deadline. So your boss comes and tells you this Sunday you'll have to come to office. But that particular Sunday, you have booked an appointment for your with the doctor, for your spouse or parent, anyone with great difficulty. It's very crucial. So when your boss comes and tells you, if you're a passive person, you get scared. Or if I say no, the boss will turn against me or stop my promotion. So what you say yes, because you can't say no. Then what happens? You will be having so much of stress. You can't take your parent or mother or whoever it is to the hospital. You go back home, then there is a problem. If you're an aggressive person, you say no for everything and show anger. So if you're an aggressive person, you get angry and say, throughout the week I have worked and you're asking me to come on Sunday. I can't come. Why don't you ask someone else to do it? You spoil your relationship with the boss. So the best way is that you can politely tell the boss without reacting, say, sorry, I would not be able to come on Sunday. The reason is I need to take my mom to the hospital. And also assure the boss, next time if I have to come, I would surely come. But this time, please, can you ask someone else to come? In this case, you don't spoil your relationship with the boss. At the same time, you are not undergoing stress. Remember, if you're passive, people will start taking advantage of you. And if you're aggressive, people will move away from you. You'll have no friends. You'll be a loner. But if you are assertive, people will love you and get attracted and now will not take advantage of you because they know what to ask you and what not to ask you. Next, it is time management, which is very, very important during the pandemic time. A lot of counseling came, and especially the women who are working will find it very difficult to manage the time. The complaint was throughout the day we are working, but even then our time work does not get over. This itself is a very long topic, maybe 2 hours topic, but I'll just tell you the main points here. Why this happens, why we are not able to manage the time is that because we are not organized. It is very, very important for us to organize, plan our day, plan a week ahead, right? Have a daily schedule. And when we have a daily schedule, a to-do list, we have to make a list of what are the tasks which we have to do. And we have to prioritize the important task. Right on top, the important task followed by the less important task. Each task you complete, put a tick. By the end of the day, you'll see that you have completed so many tasks, you'll be motivated to do more. Next thing is that I would like to talk in this is about the 8-8-8 rule, which is my favorite rule. Sometimes I've heard people telling, she's so lucky, she's got so much of work to focus on her passion, but I'm always busy, I have no time. Why does that happen? Each and every one of us have only the 24 hours, not 1 minute less, but 1 minute more. So you can follow this 8-8-8 rule. 8-8-8 rule is divide the 24 hours into 3 parts of 8-8-8 hours. And the first 8 hours you will be completely devoting to your work. No mobile, no distraction, no scrolling down the social media, and no taking calls. 8 hours completely for work. I don't mean to say that 8 hours completely you'll be working. After every 25 minutes or 45 minutes of work, take a 5 minutes break. Keep taking breaks and working. But 8 hours, no distractions. Next 8 hours, you'll be completely devoting to sleep because sleep is very, very important. 7 to 8 hours of sound sleep for you for your physical health, mental health, as well as for your productivity. And even then you have remaining 8 hours to completely focus on whatever you want to do. Spend quality time with your family, your friends, as well as follow your passion. The next, physical health, which is the basic, right? If you're not healthy, if you're not physically fit or healthy, what happens is that you will not be able to focus, you'll not be able to concentrate, you will not be able to do what you want to do. That will add to a lot of stress. You just recall and see, when do you get irritated and frustrated and stressed? When you're not keeping well. So for this, I will not go much into that because you all know what you are doing, because many people focus on their physical health. You have to take a balanced diet, drink 2 to 3 liters of water, do any form of exercise, 30 to 45 minutes, like swimming, yoga, like any form of exercise, jogging, and sleep 7 to 8 hours, I've already mentioned, and as well as expose yourself to sunlight to get vitamin D, which is very important for your physical as well as your mental health. Next is your mental health, because health, I talk about physical, mental, and social health. So physical, mental health, I think Yatindra has covered most of the things what you have to do. That is what you have to do. Get up a little early in the morning. Spirituality plays a very important role. Pray and thank God for whatever God has given. Practice mindfulness, meditation, positive affirmations in the morning, gratitude journal. I'm not going into depth. This will be dealt in the detail in the workshop. As well as in the morning, what you can do is that you can also play spiritual songs like bhajans or Bible verses in the morning. So what happens when you play that? I do. When you play that, not only you get the positive vibration, but the entire house and the others in the family will also get the positive vibration. Next, social health is very important. Social health means you should see most of the people who get stressed are people who are feeling very lonely. So you need to keep in touch with people, keep interacting with people, keep in touch with your family, with your relatives, your school, college mates. We do keep in touch and meet up once in a way. So you always should be connected. So social health, the definition is that you should be able to establish and maintain a very healthy and long-lasting relationship. Next, you should not suppress your feeling. You should talk it out. When you feel when you feel stressed out or depressed or any negative emotions are there, talk out to someone whom you can trust, and make sure that person is a positive person. For example, you're having a problem with your wife or husband, relationship issues, there are some problems. You go to a person who's having a very bad marriage, or she's already divorced. You talk to that person, then what she will talk will make your condition even more worse. So make sure that you talk about, bring about whatever's there suppressed inside, ventilate and talk to someone whom you trust. If you feel that you have no one to talk to whom you can trust, actually, you can also take a sheet of paper, pour out all your feelings, tear it and put it in the dustbin. The main thing is that you should not keep your feelings, negative feelings suppressed inside. You have to bring it out so you can feel free from your stress. And in spite of using all these techniques also, sometimes if you feel that your stress level is going too much, right, it is affecting your health, it is affecting your focus and concentration, your relationship, your productivity, you're not able to focus, you're not able to concentrate and do your work, then you should not delay. It's always better to get a consultation or just meet up with a counselor or a or a mental health, some therapist who can help you to come out of this. Because if you avoid this for a longer run, there is a possibility that you might get into depression. So I think in this session, we have covered what is stress, how stress has a negative impact on different aspects of our health, what are the different strategies we have to follow to cope up with stress. So I'm going to conduct a 2 days workshop on 11th of November. It is from 9 to 4 p.m. In the conference hall IBM. And in between, you would be having a tea and lunch break. So here, I was not able to cover much. So in this the workshop, I'll be talking about many more effective stress management techniques. And practically, we would be doing the exercise of mindfulness and relaxation techniques. And I would also be covering the different, one of the major symptom of stress is anger. So that how to manage anger, because many people are facing that issue, anger management techniques, as well as techniques to transform your negative pattern of thinking into positive thinking, as well as time management techniques. So these will be a very interactive sessions. We'll have a lot of group activities. I'll be giving you some worksheets, as well as I'll be giving you a psychological test to understand your stress level. So hope if you, those who want to register, I will be sending you the link. You can register, do the payment, and you can register. So hope to see you all in my workshop. Thank you.
Yes. So who would like to share the feedback? Yes, Kala.
First and foremost, a wonderful presentation. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was very, very, very informative. And the space and the tone in which you carried, it was amazing. And I have nothing to say about the area of improvement, of course, because everything was day-to-day related things you were talking about. It was very common in everybody's life, the stress and the scenarios and everything. Of course, it was a wonderful presentation, Shabnam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kala.
Thank you, Kala. Yes,
Thank
Anupam.
Yeah. Congratulations, Shabnam.
Thank you.
So to talk about stress, I think today we came to know the different types of stress you went there. I know we could think of, or rather you pointed out, that is eustress, distress, hyperstress, and hypostress, right?
Hypo and hyper.
Yeah, hypo and hyper, right? So yeah. So the levels of stress, again, and of course, how it impacts our mind, body, and productivity, relationship, all that was pointed out very nicely by you. You shared good stories, some real life stories that were really impactful and very nicely said. I just felt that, you should have been a little slow at the pace which you went with. Everything was so good, so nice, but sometimes I wanted to hear more, I wanted to get sink in with the content which you were delivering, but by that time something else was coming, so I think that was because of the time
the time
limitation, perhaps.
constraint.
Yeah. And only one thing, that questionnaire which you said that you will be sharing on WhatsApp, if that activity was managed here in this session, it would have been really great. Otherwise, everything was perfect. Everything was nice. Kudos to you, Shabnam.
Thank you so much. That activity does 25 questions, right? You can't do it fast, right? You have to
Okay.
read each and every statement, try to reflect, and then you have to answer that. Only then the scoring will be right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Anupama.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anupama.
Upendra, you had also raised your hand, right?
Yeah.
Very
Okay. So, Shabnam, first of all, thank you so much and congratulations
Thank you.
for the 30 minutes presentation. I mean, your energy was wonderful. No one would say that, you were ill. So it seems like you have recovered really well. So that's really great. Or at least you put up a great face and great energy, I can say. So that was nice. Starting again, it was nice that you, did a story, which was actually chilling when you talked about the entire suicide attempt and all. I actually got goosebumps. So thank you so much to start with that. I don't know whether it is with you only, because last time in your 10 minutes presentation, Shishma did the same topic, first, and then you were the one to follow it for the same topic, right? And you pulled it off well then. And today I just felt like Yatindra's and yours was like hand in the glove. So it complemented in a way. It was like a more elaboration of one particular point of the entire dream life that we talk about. So that was great. Okay. The flow, your entire presentation was very informative. So there was a lot of information that one can take from your presentation, and your years of experience in counseling actually was shown in that entire presentation, right? So we could see that you're talking out of your experience, and that made it more relatable. So thank you so much for that. The only area where I felt it can just improve one notch, maybe it was 9, it can become 10, okay, is that for some reason I actually could feel that you're running out of breath sometimes while speaking. You were running out of breath, right? So maybe the pace, because you were talking about something through your experience, and when that experience, like how Raghu mentioned, you take it to the crescendo, you leave it there. So you were talking about your real example, so you were taking there until that the next thing was coming up. So maybe that is the place where I think it could have been a wonderful. Rest, I think it was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'll just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Petra. Yes, Shapna. Kudos to you. I mean, just coming back after a brief illness and doing this with so much of passion and energy, fantastic. Really proud of you. And everything you did perfectly. You structured it well. You started with a story, and everyone got absolutely. I mean, yes, what Pin said, goosebumps. I really chilled when I said, "Oh my God!" So, and from there you took off. And for all of you, there was hardly any text matter on the slides. So everything she came with appropriate pictures. So we'll be able to remember majority of what she done, because easy to remember, memorize the pictures and take a recap from that. So that was also fantastic. You involve the participants in between many times, so that was also good. So overall, top class. I don't have anything much to add. Others have already said. That little reduction of your speed, yes, that. And I was wondering, we're looking for the time, how much more time. The clock was right in front of you on my screen.
Yeah, because I thought, no, I'll run because I didn't get much time to practice. This was stress management I have done before for two organizations, like last month. From that, I took out some slides and put it, and I thought, let me just finish it off now. So
yeah, and only one thing I want to add is that suicide hanging picture, that you can avoid.
Avoid that. Okay.
Yeah, because oh my God, and that was there for a pretty long time.
Long time.
Oh my God, I didn't realize.
It hit me hard, actually.
I knew that from my slide.
Actually hit me hard. So instead of showing someone hanging, you can just show a rope. That's all. And that too, just keep for a few seconds and remove. So it created stress in me when I was seeing that.
Saying stress management, it created stress.
Not a pleasant sight, no?
That's all. That's it.
Otherwise, everything top class. Wish you all the best. Yeah, and you should start taking. Yeah, I'm not saying you're already doing it. So, but this is one of the topics which corporates love to have.
Most of them, they ask for this topic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah.